y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I am the creator behind Missouri Makes. Before I get started, you can find me over on Instagram, Pinterest, here on YouTube as Missouri Makes, and all of the links will be down in the description box down below. You might notice I am in a different area. If you've seen last week's video, you'd know that I have been working on my office. My husband was able to bring all of my heavy stuff over. My desk, the dresser, shelf, other shelf, my sewing table, stuff like that. He was able to bring it all over. And so I was able to start getting things in order. I still have a long ways to go. As you can see, I still got boxes and I haven't unpacked the other boxes. But I'm getting there. I have been icky feeling for the past few days, so I've just kind of been taking it slow and not doing a whole bunch. So I haven't unpacked much of anything else since that video. You can find that video over on my channel. Hopefully I'll remember to put something up in the doobly-doo. If not, the video will be linked down in the description box down below as well. So, I've got me a not so hot anymore cup of coffee. Decaf, but it's still coffee. I have my project with me. And I forgot to bring over another piece. I've showed it to you before, but I will put up a picture whenever we start talking about it so that you can be notified in time. Let's go ahead and get into what I'm working on. I don't have a whole lot of things that I'm working on because I have been trying to focus on orders. And right now I currently have one order left. And if you remember a couple episodes ago, I talked to you about the crocheted Winnie the Pooh amigurumi. And they loved it so much that the client's mother decided that she wanted a brown bear made like Winnie the Pooh. And so that is what I am working on. This is Winnie the Pooh's, or the brown bear's, head. I just finished it. And then I will go on to the ears and arms section of the pattern. Like the last one, I am using a 4mm crochet hook. These are from Knit Picks. I really like these. These are, would they be considered the ergonomic? Because they've got the rubbery stuff on it. I don't know, but these are really good. I like these. I'm pretty sure I got those from Knit Picks. And I am using the same brand of yarn as I use for Winnie the Pooh, which is I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. It is a number 4, 100% acrylic worsted weight yarn. There's 355 yards per skein. Now, the Winnie the Pooh only took one skein. I grabbed another one just to be on the safe side, but I didn't need it. So I have a whole skein of the yellow at home, or not at home. It's actually, would it be here? Or did I leave it at the house? I don't know, but I do have a whole skein. And then for the shirt portion of the bear, they want it to be camo. So that's what I'll be doing. They want a light brown bear with a camo shirt. I forgot to tell you the color name. Toasted Almond. I don't know if that's coming up. There we go. Toasted Almond. It's just like a beige, light brown. Yeah. That's what I'm working on now. I did finish a couple blankets. I am participating in the WIP wrap-up event over on Instagram. and I'll leave a link down in the description box down below if you want to be included or if you want to check it out. It's hosted by Sarah, I believe her name is, but it's only for the month of January. I started to say June. This is not June. This is January. It's hosted by Sarah for the month of January. I don't think it's going to go any further than that, so you won't have long, but you can join us and finish up some whips, or you can just look at what everybody has been doing. I finished, if you seen, I finished my baby blanket. And over on Instagram, on my account, I did a reel on the gender. And by the time you see this, it will be out. It came out Friday of last week. And so, it's no big secret. We're having a girl. I'm very, very excited. And quite honestly, we don't have much longer left. By the time you see this, I am 32 weeks pregnant. So, we only have 8 weeks left if she decides to stay that long. And so, we have got to get things in order and bags packed. And I finally put the bassinet together and put it in the bedroom. So, we've got that. So, that is awesome. The colors that I chose for her is like a dusty or an antique pink with a, I think it's more of a muted green. I mean, it brightens up the pink, so it's not muted, but to me, it's more of a muted green versus like Kelly green or something like that. And then I chose an off-white or a tan color. And it didn't take as much yarn as I thought it would. And so I had lots of leftovers and scraps from that blanket. And I had started another baby blanket for whatever reason. I was just trying to use up my scraps. And I was contributing into the whip wrap-up. And finished another baby blanket. So I have the baby blanket that I made for the baby, and then I have, which is a motif blanket, and then I have a corner to corner blanket, and I did half pink, half of it being the tan color, and I ran out of the tan and had to improvise, and there's a small portion at the tip of the blanket that is 2 different colors, and so I really used up scraps trying to get that done. And I don't mind it. I don't know if anybody else will mind it. I will have to show you in the next video because it's over at the house. We got a huge snow, and I say huge for us. There are a lot of different places that have a whole bunch more snow than what we get. A lot. But they called for 4 to 6 inches yesterday, and I think it started around 7-ish, around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and snowed all night, and we've got a lot of snow. We currently don't have ice. It's that wet, thick, dense snow. I know that because we have weather calling for 40s and late 30s, and Friday is going to be 50. We're not going to have the snow for very long, but the problem is it's going to get cold at night. And so the snow will melt and then refreeze overnight, which causes ice, and that's what you have to worry about. I have an appointment today that I got to go to at 2 o'clock. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, I believe. I have a 2 o'clock appointment today. I have a 9 a.m. appointment tomorrow, and I have a 10:30 appointment Friday. And so I'm booked up for the rest of the week. And Fun. I hope that the weather and the roads and everything is cleaned up and clear by the time Friday appointment comes, because Friday's appointment is my doctor's appointment. I was scheduled to have my appointments every 2 weeks for a certain amount of time, and my blood pressure got a little out of control, and they were worried about that, and so they put me on blood pressure medicine, and they switched it over to a weekly visit. And with those weekly visits comes ultrasounds to make sure the baby's okay. And they said that whatever day is chosen to be, they have to stick with that day, because they don't want to go more than 7 days without an ultrasound to check on her. And so I hope that the roads are clear, because I have to be at my appointment Friday. I'm not too worried about it. If anything, I'll ride up with my husband and we'll figure it out. Because my vehicle is not good on this kind of weather, but his truck can handle it a little bit better than mine. Mine kind of slides all over the road, but his truck does better. So if anything, I'll ride up with him if need be. But I think where he works in Poplar Bluff, I don't think they got as much snow as we did, and I think the roads are clearing up there. So I'm not worried about it. But that is what's going on right now. And let's see. This weekend, we'll be going up to Caruthersville, because my husband is scheduled to preach Sunday morning in Caruthersville, which is exciting. It's a place, not only is it a church we've never been to, he's never preached for these people. And so, I've only been up to Caruthersville once, and that was by accident, because my vehicle overheated a few weeks ago whenever we went. We were headed to Tennessee. Where were we going in Tennessee? I can't remember. But we were going up there because Jody said she wanted to go to a state she'd never been to. And so that was the closest place for us to go. We thought that there was going to be stuff up there that she would like. Ended up not being anything up there. With the pandemic and the way it's happened, a lot of stores have closed down. And so they didn't have nearly as many stores as we had hoped. Sorry, my boots are squeaking. But back to my finished stuff. I took and walked over here to the office to do my videos, and kind of had my hands full. I brought the laptop, and I packed this bag here. This bag is full of scrap yarns from, I'm going to say 2021. I had started a knit blanket where you start in the corner, increase, and then decrease to create. And I called it my, what did I call it? Candy stripe blanket, because it's red and white and it reminds me of a peppermint. And ended up frogging it because I never worked on it. I just wasn't enjoying it. And so I frogged it today, and it needed to come over to the office. And so what I did is I just packed the project that I was working on and put it all in this bag, as well as whatever else I could fit in to it, and brought it over here. And then I had the computer in one hand and coffee in the other hand. And so I was kind of hands full there. So I've got the 2 blankets that I finished. Hopefully I will put up a video, not a video, but a picture here, so you can see those 2 blankets. I am really pleased with them. The corner-to-corner blanket, I am calling complete at the moment, but I may end up putting a border on it later. I don't know yet. I'm thinking off-white or cream and the leftover green color that is from the first blanket. I'm thinking about putting a border on like that. And so, but that's going to be in the future. It's not going to be right now. And let's see. Oh, I have a pattern release coming. I've been talking about this pattern for a few weeks and been procrastinating on finish writing the pattern. And I finally took the time to get things finished and wrote up, and it is ready. By the time this video comes out, it'll be Thursday. It'll be Friday whenever the pattern comes out. So, a little tip on getting the pattern. If you are a newsletter subscriber, you will get a coupon for this pattern and any other pattern that I publish throughout, as long as I'm making patterns. You will get a coupon in your email for this pattern to get it at a discounted price. Only newsletter subscribers get that coupon. And if you want the PDF pattern for this cowl, which we're going to put a picture right here so you can see what it looks like. I really, really like this pattern. It is very simple, very easy, beginner friendly, and it looks beautiful. And I have a black jacket that I'm going to wear this with, and it'll match everything. And even if it doesn't match everything, it's going to go with everything because I'm going to put it with everything. I love this cowl. I've been procrastinating on wearing it because I wanted to get it published first. But in order to, you can pay full price for the pattern. It doesn't bother me. But if you want to be notified whenever the pattern is released, as well as get a coupon for this pattern, you can sign up for my newsletter, which will be, there will be a link down in the description box down below where you can do that. And you will get a coupon for, it's called Foggy Days, D-A-Z-E, Foggy Days. And honestly, the reason why I named it that, I was having a hard time. That's part of the reason why I was procrastinating on this pattern, is I was having such a hard time figuring out a name for it, because it's a silver sparkle yarn using incorporating like the granny cluster stitch. It's 3 double crochets, but it's 3 double crochets together instead of separate. And it's a simple, mindless, potato chippy, make it while you sit in front of the TV watching your favorite episode of whatever. Mine is Bones right now. But it's an easy pattern, and I could not for the life of me figure out a name for it. And whenever I named it yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, it was super, super foggy outside. And we've been having a lot of fog here lately, like bad fog. And so I decided to name it Foggy Days. And when you look at pictures, when you type in Foggy Days on the computer, you get these pictures of really bad fog. And that's what it reminds me of. And I love the name. And I hope that you love the pattern as much as I do. And I'm debating on making another one with scrap yarn, because at the beginning of the year, whenever I started doing videos, one of my goals or intentions for the new year is to work up my stash, because I do have a lot of one-of skeins, or I have a lot of scrap. And so one of my goals is to work up my scrap yarn. And so I may take and make one of the Foggy Days patterns up in scrap yarn and do it that way. It takes 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn. I think that the name of the yarn is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek. It's not the DK, it's the worsted weight version. And I use the kind that has the sparkle in it. You may or may not be able to get it now that the holidays are over. I don't know. It's a Hobby Lobby yarn. But you can use any worsted weight yarn. You can use scrap yarn and work up your scraps and do it that way. Or if you've got a couple skeins lying around that you didn't know what to do with, you can use that yarn to do this. And quite honestly, you can use any weight yarn to make this. All you have to worry about is your hook size. You want your hook to match your yarn and the size of it. If you use a smaller yarn than a worsted weight, you're going to need more stitches, or you're going to need more rounds to make it as big as you, or as the height of it. You're going to want more rounds, or maybe you won't. Maybe you want it as a skinny cowl. If you use a thicker weight yarn, then you're going to need less stitches and you're going to need less rounds, unless you want it to be really thick and bulky. Whatever it is, that the look that you're going for, you can use any yarn you want to make this. And that's something that I love about making shawls and cowls and stuff like that, is it's universal. You can use any yarn you want. You just have to accommodate stitches and hook to go with your yarn so that you can fix the size of it. And so in the pattern, I state the stitch multiple, so that won't be a problem for you. You'll be able to fix it to fit whatever yarn you have on your shelf. So you don't have to go and purchase new yarn. You can use whatever yarn you have on your shelf. And that is what I really love about these kind of patterns. Oh, that's really, really cold. We're not going to drink that anymore. That's getting dumb. But yeah. Foggy Days coming out Friday. Is it the 27th? January 27th. I was hoping to get 2 patterns out this month, but it looks like I'm only going to get 1, and that's okay. I got 1 pattern out this month, and I have accomplished that. So we are going to go with that. After I get this brown bear done, I have some things that I really want to work on, and I would like to start them now. I would, but I am trying to discipline myself to getting stuff done. And this is an order that I am getting paid for this. And so I need to worry about getting this stuff done first. And so that is my top priority when it comes to crochet. And I need to get it done. I need to be responsible and do the adult-like thing and do the things that I don't want to do first. And then I can enjoy my day and do something else. So, yeah. That's all I got going on right now. I was hoping, and I know I say this quite a bit, I was hoping that I'd be able to have a video out of what I brought, because I only brought this to show you. So, I didn't even think about bringing the blankets or any of that until I already got over here, and I don't want to attempt to climb up the steps again. While it is just snow, I don't want to risk slipping and falling. So I'm going to go up and down the steps as little as possible until it's all melted. So I hope that showing you pictures of it will be good enough, and next week or my next podcast, I will make sure that I bring it and show it to you as in person as we can over video. But yes, and I am working on getting my projects hung up. I've got a whole drawer. One of these drawers here on the bottom is completely full of projects that I've made. And I've got a bucket on my porch that's got hats and stuff. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me to get done and get things in order. Oh, and I finished another hat, which I don't have because my husband took it as soon as it was done. He lost his favorite crocheted hat and was like, I need another one. It's getting cold. And I was like, okay. He's like, I want it exactly like my other one. I'm like, that's not going to happen because I don't remember the pattern that I used, and I don't know what yarn or if I have that yarn anymore. So he's like, well, use the same yarn as my cowl and match it to that. I had one skein of that left, so I was able to match the hat to his cowl. And he was disappointed because it wasn't the same pattern as his other hat. But I told him I couldn't do that because I didn't know what pattern I had used. But he needed it because Saturday he had worked, and then come Monday it got cold. And so because he shaves his head, he needs a hat to wear whenever it's cold like this because it's colder on him than somebody with hair on their head. And so he tries to keep hats, and he actually prefers crocheted or knitted homemade hats, and I am grateful for that. I appreciate that. He is a very understanding and very gift-worthy person, and he's got quite a few things that I've made him that he keeps up with and uses, and I'm very, very grateful to have a husband like him. So that I made that, and he's got it with him. As far as I know, he's got it with him. And I may go ahead and make him a couple more hats so he has something to choose from, because he said that one was a little big on him, which he didn't notice because I was trying it on him to see how it fit him. And whenever I had taken out one of the increase rounds to make it smaller, we thought that it was the right size. And when he tried it on, he thought it was the right size. But whenever it was completed, he said it was a little big on him. So I may go ahead and make him a couple more so that he has options. And he wants a headband because he's got this one specific cowboy hat that he wears. And he wants a headband to cover his ears so that he can wear his cowboy hat. But he wants it thick. He wants it thick around the ears so it covers all of his ears, and then thin up here so that it doesn't go underneath the hat and stays in place. And so I've got to configure something up for that. He's got ball caps, but he doesn't wear them very much, and he doesn't wear them in the winter, so that's not going to be of use to him. He just needs a headband for whenever he's wearing his cowboy hat. So I gotta make him that as well. And I might have enough yarn from the hat, the skein of yarn that I used for his hat. I may have enough yarn to do that. I don't know. But he really likes that yarn, and so I may try to do that. We'll see. But that is all I have for you. Hopefully I get a few clips of outside in the beautiful snow. And yeah, if not, I've got some pictures on Instagram that you can look at. And we got quite a bit of snow for us. I know it's not a lot of snow for a lot of different places, but for us, it's a lot of snow. So, yeah, we got that. And I am going to go ahead and get off here. I will see y'all another day. And stay safe, stay warm. Make sure your coffee don't get cold. So, I'm going to go get me a new cup. And I'll talk to you. Hi, Steven.